देवी पूजी पद कमल तुम्हारे, सुर नर मुनि सब हो ही सुखारे। माता पूजी पद कमल तुम्हारे, सुर नर मुनि सब हो ही सुखारे। देवी पूजी पद कमल तुम्हारे, सुर नर मुनि सब हो ही सुखारे।
Jai Ma, Jai Kamakhya. We are listening to the beautiful stories of divine life of Baba Bhoothnath ji. A life so charismatic, so inspirational, beyond this world, transcendental, spiritual, enigmatic, marvelous. I am trying to find a word to describe it. All I can say is, throughout the making of this series, the tremendous joy that I have felt cannot be explained. His presence right from the beginning till today will be the last series. This video is going to be the last of the series. And while the series was being released, so many of you heard it and you have written some beautiful comments. Some of you reached out to me personally, sharing your experiences. I am very thankful to all of you who took out time to listen to these videos and to write the comments. It is very encouraging. It was my life's dream for how long I had been holding this, that one day I will speak about the glories of Babaji to everyone, whomever I meet. And finally, Babaji blessed me to fulfill this through this medium, and I feel that this medium is going to connect Babaji with so many people. Some of you I may know, some of you I may not know, but really it doesn't matter. All it matters is that Babaji connects with you all and you feel his presence in your life. May he encourage all of you. May he inspire all of you. While I was making this series, the first video when I made, I was not sure what will be the title of the video. And I have mentioned that in my first video that I was meditating in my group meditation session, and then I see that Babaji came and he actually told me the title. He said, Kamakhya Putra, Shuddha Shakti Yogiraj, Shri 1008 Baba Bhoothnath. This will be the title. And that is the title I have used. While I was making this series, I only had few pictures. And every time in my head I'm thinking, okay, when this story will come, what picture will I put? I don't know, I only have this much. And I'm going to say that as usual, this is not what I have done. I just had a dream to serve my Guru, that's all. I just had a desire to speak about his glories to people. And my Gurus are going to fulfill it. While I was in my head, I was thinking, from where am I going to get good pictures during the making of the series? When the first video was released, and a disciple of Baba Bhoothnath ji who saw our video, one of my viewers, Mr. Kamakhya Tripathi, to whom I am deeply thankful. My heartfelt thanks to you, Mr. Kamakhya Tripathi. He reached out, he sent me an email sharing some few pictures of Baba Bhoothnath ji. I'm going to share one more thing. The pictures which I had with me, most of the pictures that you have seen were clicked in 1989 when he had visited Mumbai, and my father had arranged for the photographer. The photographer, we know him very well. We had some pictures, but in those times, digital pictures were not possible. We had those print copies. Some of the photos, because of the Bombay rains, some of the photos completely got spoiled. There was one picture in which he was wearing an orange robe. It got completely spoiled and it was my favorite picture. But because I used to like to see him in orange robe. when the video series started coming out, I hardly was left with any good pictures of him. But in my head, I'm thinking, where will I get those pictures? I wish I could get them. And suddenly I see this email from Mr. Kamakhya, and one of the pictures was with orange robe. I'm telling you, I was so happy with tears in my eyes that Babaji, thank you. And the name Kamakhya Tripathi, that name is also so beautiful. I wrote to him back, and Mr. Kamakhya responded saying that Babaji himself gave this name to me when I was born. And then further, when I was talking to him, he said, all the pictures that I'm sharing with you are from my mother's archives. I'm very, very thankful to you, Mr. Kamakhya. As you have seen, most of the pictures that you have given, I have used it and I have shared it with the world so that people know what Babaji was through the pictures. And while the video series was being made, I was one day thinking, when the last video will come, I wanted to release pictures of Babaji's Samadhi. But I didn't have the pictures. I only had one black and white. And in the night, I thought of it from where, if I wish I could get some colored pictures, from where to get colored pictures. I don't know if there were colored pictures or not. I'm thinking all these things and I slept. Morning when I get up, I see that Kamakhya Tripathi had already sent me 4 or 5 pictures of Babaji Samadhi. I wrote to him back. I said, I'm very, very grateful to you for these pictures. You have no idea how much I had been in my head thinking, from where will I get the pictures? And thank you so much for all the pictures from the archives that you have sent to me. Those pictures are the pictures that you are seeing. Some of them I already had, some of them is shared by him. It always feels nice to connect to Babaji's older disciples, those who ever have met Babaji. Like Kamakhya ji met him when he was 8 years old, only once, he said. And he says, the imprint is always there. His parents were ardent followers of Baba Bhoothnath ji. And there are so many like that who knew Baba Bhoothnath ji in his time when he was alive. So these are little miracles that are happening on the way. And there are so many miracles. I can go on making videos on his miracles. It happens every day. But we will focus on Babaji's life now. One of the miracles I really wanted to mention was that happened at one Mr. Tandon's house in Kanpur. So Mr. Tandon's family had called him in Kanpur, and satsanga was going on. And as usual, when people meet Babaji, they don't want to leave him. He was so enigmatic, he was so attractive. Who wants to leave him? And Babaji said, okay, nobody wants to leave me, no problem. Babaji just said, I will not leave you, don't worry. What you do, you just lock me in the door. I want to rest. So the people said, okay, fine. And they locked him in the door, inside a room. And they locked the door from outside. And they went in their own respective bedrooms and slept. In the evening, they all got up. They come out and then they're like, should we open the door or not? And then they receive a call from Lucknow Ashram saying, you don't have to worry. Babaji is not in Kanpur anymore. He is in Lucknow already. So between Kanpur and Lucknow, there's a journey. Okay, it's a long way. But here, Babaji was locked up in the room. And people were surprised that the lock is still there and there is no other way to escape from the room. But Babaji had this yogic power of teleporting. He could take himself anywhere. He had done once when he escaped from Patna and he came to Lucknow through the Ganges. He escaped. This was another time he has escaped. He has done this with some other lady also. He escaped like this. So it was very difficult to tie up Babaji. He had so many yogic powers and he performed all these miracles. Not to attain fame. Not to show that, oh, I am a big Siddha. Not to show that I am a big saint. It was not his goal. His goal was to inspire people, to let people know that you are not this mortal frame. You also can get these powers. You're also having these powers. All you need is to connect with Ma. His life was full of sadhana, full of tapasya. He only inspired people to do that tapasya, to do that sadhana, to do that austerity. All these miraculous things he showed for some time, and afterwards, later in his later years, he stopped showing those miracles because he wanted people to only focus on devotion now, only on sadhana. He was completely detached. One of the stories of Babaji, you see, he got the ashram with Ma Kamakhya's blessing. In those times, as we mentioned in the previous video, that that place was totally isolated and full of robbers and dacoits, and Babaji still built the ashram there because this was blessed by Ma Kamakhya herself. Later on, all these dacoits and those thieves started coming and meeting Babaji, and Babaji's loving personality transformed everyone. All these thieves, the robbers, Babaji got them jobs. And some of them started doing business. Some of them left their old bad practices. They all became devotees, ardent devotees of Ma. That's how he transformed even the dacoits and the robbers in that area. Slowly, that temple started becoming a flourishing place. Another colony called Indranagar colony was established nearby. I was mentioning about how detached Babaji was. One day, Babaji was doing a havan, and some rich businessman came with good chunk of cash. Sometimes they give cash to sadhus and then they think they are something great. So this person comes and gives a big bag of cash to Babaji, donated. Babaji was doing havan. Babaji started taking everything from the purse, from the big bag, whatever cash was there, and started putting it in the fire as havan. And that person, the businessman is looking, his family is looking, what is this happening? They gave it with so much of shraddha, so much of faith, so much of devotion to Babaji as a donation. They had so much value for that money. They thought, we are giving what? We are giving so much money for the ashram. And here look at Babaji. He just takes the money and puts it in the fire as oblations. Who will question him? Who will question him? Nobody. That's how Babaji was. He was detached, completely detached. His only life's mission was to serve people. And for that purpose he had made Kamakhya, not to make money. He was an actual karma yogi. He was a selfless karma yogi, as you say. He was not looking for any fame from whatever he was doing. He was a seer. He was an ascetic. He could see the past, present, future of people. And he was inspiring everybody to walk on the path of sadhana. His only message was, he used to say, I do not see anybody as Christian or Muslim or Parsi or any other religion. When people come to me, I do not see somebody as rich or poor. When people come to me, I only see them as the child of Ma Kamakhya. Just see this, the way he's seeing everything. That drishti, that sight, that vision, so clear. No distinction. He says, everyone who is coming here is the son of Ma Kamakhya. And he would advise after giving all the help needed, he would advise everyone to pray to Ma Kamakhya. He would say, always sing the glories of Ma Kamakhya. Remember her at all times. Chant her names. This way you will benefit yourself. By chanting Ma's name, by glorifying her, remembering her, you will benefit yourself, you will benefit your family, and you will benefit everyone. This was his main message that he always used to give. After Ma's blessing, that Kamakhya temple, Kamakhya Dham in Lucknow started thriving. A beautiful marble statue of Ma Kamakhya with 6 faces and 12 hands was established there. And there is a small cave kind of structure made for Babaji's personal meditation. There is a beautiful hall. There is a small garden in the ashram where a lot of Ayurvedic herbal plants are also planted. When you enter the ashram, nowadays when you enter the ashram, you actually see his murti also, his idol also. And along with Kamakhya, there are 10 Mahavidyas too. So this beautiful ashram was built while he was there. Two more ashrams, one in Delhi and one in Kanpur, was also built while Babaji was there. Babaji lived a glorious life. His birthday is on January 1st, and that year, on January 1st, 1990, he completed 90 years of his life, and everybody had come from all over India to celebrate his birthday on 1st January 1990. And it was celebrated with the great romp and pomp, lot of feast happening, and then people coming, and people would share their feelings by reciting poetries, by reciting songs, by telling stories, and lot of kirtan happening, bhajans happening in the evening. Babaji himself, Babaji had this habit, when kirtan used to happen, he himself used to sometimes say the kirtan, and he would dance ecstatically. So ecstatic, he would dance like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's how his dancing was. So that day also, on his birthday, he met everybody. The celebration went on till the 4th of January. On 2nd of January, he gave his last sermon, his last discourse. Nobody thought that something unwanted, undesirable, unwished is approaching soon. Nobody knew. Babaji was at his best, smiling, distributing sweets, distributing his garlands, distributing stuff to people, meeting with them with the same energy. Even at the age of 90, I have mentioned so many times, he had the energy of a very young man because of his yogic habits, and shining bright. Babaji kept guiding. So the 1st of January the celebration went on, 2nd of January the celebration went on, 3rd of January the celebration went on, 4th of January people started going back to their places, and till the end Babaji was meeting them with the same enthusiasm. In his last sermon, he spoke about one thing. He said, one must always give to others. There is no greater dharma than serving others. He said, when people receive things from others, they are very happy. But when they have to give, they become very sad. This kind of attitude only puts more sadness in your life. If one wants happiness, one wants to attract happiness, become a giver. Start giving. This was his message. Be a giver. Do charities. Give happiness to others. Give help to others. Give support to others. Whatever you can do for others, do it. This was his biggest message and the last message that he gave in his last discourse. 4th of January people left, and after that, on 9th of January, somewhere around afternoon, 11:45 a.m., he told people that he's getting into his anushthan. The people in the ashram, he said he's getting into his anushthan, he's getting into his sadhana. And he went inside, and at around 11:45 p.m., he chanted Om Ma, Om Ma, Om Ma. And the third mantra that he chanted, he left his mortal frame and forever went into the lap of Ma Kamakhya. Those who were there and those who had left after the celebration couldn't believe. It was like a big shock for people. Nobody had knew that this will be their last meeting with Baba Bhoothnath ji. When the message, and I have told you about this, when he left his body, how he kept his promise to me also. Before leaving his body, he came in my dreams in my house. So this way, there were so many stories about so many disciples who have felt his presence so deeply. Even though he left his mortal frame, he lives inside the soul of everyone who have connected with him. After Babaji left his body on 9th of January 1990, and the message started spreading, people started coming to Lucknow Dham for his final darshan. His body was kept in that Kamakhya Dham temple for 3 days for all devotees to come and see him for the last time before the body will be buried, cremated. And after the darshan was over, on 12th of Jan, people flocked, crowds gathered, people were standing on towers and in their buildings, and a procession was taken. And in that big procession, it was a celebration of his glorious life. It was not an ordinary passing away. Souls like him don't pass away. They just visit this planet temporarily. He visited this planet 1899 and he left the planet 1990. That's all. They always live. So with there was a big procession and people were flocking and crowds gathered, and then his whole body was kept in a samadhi avastha. People who have seen his body used to say that even when he was sitting in his samadhi, in the dead position, people thought that he's so alive that he'll just open his eyes and come out and start talking. It did not decay or anything for 3 days. It was that strong, so lively. And with that, but in the end, we have to do whatever has to be done with the body. In the end, the body was buried in the samadhi pose in the grounds of Ma Kamakhya, and Babaji forever went in the lap of Mother Earth. With this, he lived a great life and a great inspiring life. After that, Ma Kamakhya's ashram, the next successor was Baba Bhoothnath ji. He also lived a very nice life, guiding many people. He left last year during COVID, and in this way, a great life. Even though we say it has come to an end, but in actuality, it hasn't. He lives forever in our hearts and always guiding people wherever he is. And through this video series, I'm sure he's going to live many more years. He's going to touch many people. I will end up with one shloka from Guru Gita. Japastapo vratam tirtha yagyo danam tathaiva cha guru tattvam vigyaya sarva vyartha bhavet priye. One must. Lord Shiva is telling to Ma Parvati that there is nothing beyond a guru. And Baba Bhoothnath ji was Yah Shiva Sha Guru. There is a statement in Guru Gita. Who is Guru is Shiva and Shiva is Guru. And with Baba Bhoothnath ji, this statement is 100% true. Yah Shiva Sha Guru, and Lord Shiva says there is nothing greater than a Guru. If somebody serves a Guru, he has got the benefit of chanting all mantras, He has got the benefit of going to pilgrimages. He has got the benefit of all yagyas. He has got the benefit of all charities. There is nothing greater than the Guru. So always worship Guru, always worship your Guru, always worship your Guru. And Baba Bhoothnath ji was such a Guru. Jai Baba Bhoothnath, Jai Kamakhya. May he always guide and always bless you. And please do write your comments and experiences. It's always a pleasure to read them, even though I may not reply sometimes, but please excuse my little shortcoming. I am trying my best to give whatever good knowledges I have received from my line of gurus to all of you. So it takes time, and I sometimes don't have much time to go through all the comments and comment, but I read them all, and I'm very sincerely appreciating all your efforts to connect with me. Thank you very much. Jai Ma, Jai Babaji.